Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Overlevel Podcast. Yeah, so good. I feel like we haven't done this in a while. I mean, it's been a bit. It's been at least 2 weeks.
Yeah,
maybe more. I'm not. It's time doesn't exist.
Right. It's a construct.
Yeah, it's all made up, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's definitely been some updates. First of all, if you're watching this on YouTube, here's me. Here I am.
There he is.
Here I am. So I'm gonna start. Maybe we'll get to the point sometime in the future where we can. I would love to maybe do the podcast in person and get to the point where we can have a whole fucking studio just talk about RPGs, because that's really easy to do.
Yeah.
But for right now, I feel like there's been some demand. Some people have sent me some messages and have told me personally that they are into podcasts that have more of a visual flair to them. And even though, I don't know, when it comes to the YouTube videos, I've done my best. Sometimes I'll slack off and I won't do anything to the YouTube version. But, if we're talking about a game or we're, doing a review on a game or something, I try to do my best to add some sort of visual thing going on.
Yeah.
But for now, I think it's probably going to be an easier time for me editing, especially because I won't have to go and find all these like YouTube clips and then YouTube to MP4 that shit,
Right, yeah.
So like just all these trailers and stuff.
Less stress.
Yeah, less stress. Sorry if the camera's shaking too. It's kind of touching my table. Anyways, so DJ.
Hi.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Gavin?
Oh, dude! Every time I can feel you, it's like a little like stab in my gut. Oh God! I can feel you almost calling me Brandon, dude.
It's okay. I do it to Brandon all the time too.
Speaking of Brandon, I know you can obviously say whatever you want about your own personal shit going on, but is there any other sort of news as far as some updates in your life going on right now?
Sure. I mean, I can talk about it. Cool. Yeah, I moved into a new place with my buddy Brandon and our mutual friend Anthony. And yeah, adulting, living in my first ever apartment. It's pretty neat. It's been about a little over a week now since we moved in, and it's pretty nice so far. Just waiting for that first bill to hit before everything hits hard.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's when it gets really real.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I heard y'all got internet kind of late in the game though.
Yeah, it took a couple of days.
Man.
As someone who does a lot of stuff on the internet, I was like, fuck. But I mean, what I would do is I would just constantly go to my parents' house until we got internet.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, I know exactly how that is, man. But that's good. I saw Brandon posted on Twitter like, "We got internet, boys," and I was like, "You haven't had internet this whole time?"
No.
Well, that's awesome, man. I'm excited for you. It's gonna be awesome. Obviously has its ups and its downs and stuff, but it's gonna be good. This is the first step into adulthood.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess before we get into the news and stuff, just want to remind everyone that you can, obviously, if you're here watching on YouTube, we appreciate you being here, but you can also listen to this podcast pretty much anywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, PocketCast, all that shit. You can find all of that everywhere.
Yo.
And then also, we have a Twitter account. That's at OverleveledCast. I try to be as active as I can. I try to, retweet some funny stuff here and there, and also try to, just give updates on what's going on. We also have a Patreon. That's, one of the optional things as far as just kind of if you feel like being generous in that way, that option is available to you. All links to all of that can be in the description. You can also email us at overleveledpodcast@gmail.com. And I'm pretty sure that's all of my that's all of my self-plug stuff. Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say, like, you're forgetting one other self-plug.
Yeah. One self plug. You can find me on Twitch now.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck!
I made a video talking about this on the YouTube channel, but I know we have a good amount of people who are strictly audio only listeners. Which for you guys also, in regards to the webcam, I don't want you to think that you're missing out on anything special.
No, it's just more making an incentive for people to watch it on YouTube.
yeah, exactly. But if you're just on Spotify, just on Apple Podcasts or whatever, I'm just as grateful for you being there. So don't feel pressure. I'm not pressuring anyone to come look at my ugly face. So, anyways, I'm streaming on Twitch now. That's twitch.tv/gavdod, GAVDOD. So it's been really cool. We'll kind of talk about this game in the news section a little bit, but I've been playing a game called Eastward. Might as well just talk about that section of the news now, but Eastward finally came out.
Yeah.
Let's see, where is it at? Yeah, so Eastward came out. I bought it whenever it was kind of doing like a pre-order sale for the game. This is by the same people or the same publishers who did Stardew Valley as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I have not played Stardew Valley, but
it's nice. It's very chill.
Yeah, from what I hear, it's kind of like, what Animal Crossing would have become way back on the N64 era if it had just stayed 2D.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I think that kind of style of game is cool. But this is way different. I mean, it's pixel art style. And if I just give a short little review so far of what I've played, and you can, in regards to my Twitch account, everything that I've played so far, I've been doing a blind playthrough on Twitch. So all of my experience with this game will be 100% for the first time documented on Twitch. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do with my VODs, because every time that they're done, I've been downloading them onto my computer and just kind of putting them into a folder. Maybe if you're audio only, maybe head to the Discord or something. Oh, Discord too. Follow us. Join our Discord. Anyways, you can, tell me what you think about this either on the YouTube video or Discord or email. But I don't know if I want to make kind of just a throwaway sort of second channel on YouTube where I strictly am just uploading my VODs of my live streams and just kind of have that be my Twitch archive channel. Because on Twitch, your VODs disappear after 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So that's kind of unfortunate, but I'm saving them anyway. So I don't know if a second channel is where I want to put those, or if I want to put those on. Yeah, or even if I don't want to blow up people's inbox in the over-leveled channel. So maybe not there, but whatever people might think is best. I've even considered maybe not even uploading those. Fully, but instead taking all of that footage myself and maybe doing just a long video of maybe some of my best moments of me playing that. Sort of like a best of compilation, I guess.
Yeah, that could be good.
But yeah. Have you checked out this game at all since it's been out?
No, I have not.
Yeah, so it's kind of got this artistic, quirky style of something like Earthbound, but it plays like a Zelda game.
Okay.
There was I streamed for an hour the other day, maybe a little longer. I think it might have been closer to 2 hours. Anyways, there's a mini game inside this game called Earthborn.
Okay.
So this game is definitely a bunch of homages to its influences.
Yeah.
But this mini game, Earthborn, it's literally while you're walking around the town, you can go up to this arcade machine that is playing Earthborn, and whenever you start the game, you're basically playing Dragon Quest, and it is a full-blown turn-based JRPG like Dragon Quest.
Oh wow! Okay.
As a mini game.
Oh, tight.
And I didn't finish the story because I died fighting the last boss, but It's about an hour long. Like, it's a like, inside this video game, there is a mini game that is a fully fleshed, like, RPG.
I love shit like that. That's cool.
Yeah. I was telling DJ I just got dinner right before this, so I'm trying to keep my throat clear. But anyways, yeah, it's been really fun. So Eastward is out now. I haven't finished it. I'm only maybe like 5 hours into it or something. And it's like a 30-hour game too. Like it's a full game,
beefy.
you know? Yeah. So support your indie devs out there. They're making fucking good shit.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing, kind of on the news. Oh, well, that was kind of like a mix of like a news thing and my Twitch announcement. But DJ, right before this, you said you had some kind of news thing.
Yeah, it's just a thing that I recently discovered earlier before we started recording is like days ago is okay. So we know how you remember we talked about the NIS Classic Volume 1
yes,
with like Phantom Brave and Soul Nomad. Well, apparently not too long ago, 2 weeks ago actually, they announced a new NIS Classic Volume 2, and this one has two different games. It has Makai Kingdom and what was the other one? Fuck, I just had it. Shit. Makai Kingdom and ZHP, which is like a sort of like Power Rangers type game. And I remember playing both of these, and I'm super excited for them. So pretty much just like another couple of very old Nippon Ichi Software games that are pretty much being in a collection. And I've played both of these games, and I'm super fucking excited for both of them. The first one, Makai Kingdom, which kind of sucks for me too, because I have the PS2 version of it, and I'm just like, shit, now they're making a fucking new thing of it, and it's gonna have like some DLC that was only like Japanese version only of it too. So I'm like, fuck. I wish I didn't buy the game. I mean, this was like years ago, so it's fine. But and like the other one, ZHP, which is pretty much just like, for what I remember, it's sort of like a dungeon crawl game where you start off as like some dude with like literally, I'm saying like a lot. You're starting off with some Power Ranger dude with literally no powers at all. You suck, and then as you go through the dungeon, it's like a never-ending dungeon. So you're just going through as much as you can until you die, trying to like power up your character as much as possible. And then if you die, you have to restart with most of your stuff gone. It's pretty much just like you trying to defeat the final boss in one go. It's pretty much what that game is from what I remember. There's probably like a lot that I don't remember though about it, but that's sort of the gist of it. So I'm excited for that. Some more Nippon Ichi classic games coming into a collection. Yeah, like Makai Kingdom came out back in 2005 and it's being now resurfaced after almost 2 decades.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
It's cool too. I'm watching the trailer right now, and it even says it looks like they're including some extra content.
Yeah, the extra content was like in the Japanese version only.
That's so cool. Right on.
And so I'm hoping, so clearly it seems like they're going to keep doing more of these. So I'm hoping that in Volume 3, they have this game that a lot of people also are hoping for called La Pucelle Tactics, which I'm also, this is another like JRPG by Nippon Ichi Software. And I'm super excited for that one too. I hope that one comes out because I remember playing that one on the PS3 one that you could like also buy PS2 games on there. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully that is on the next one. But yeah, those just something that I came across that I was excited for. It's supposed to come out spring of 2022.
Okay, cool. Wait, is the first NIS Classics Volume 1, that's been out for a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's been out for a little bit. I haven't bought it yet, but it's been out. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because I remember seeing those games. I don't think I played any of those Volume 1 games. So yeah, that'll be super cool to check out. Well, right on. Cool. I guess also before we go into any more news, we're kind of jumping around this whole intro portion a little bit, but I just want to ask, like, what are you playing right now?
Still playing Shadow Hearts from the New World. I mean, recently haven't had too much time to play a lot of video games because I'm moving, but still playing that. You know, JRPGs are long as shit, so it's gonna take a while anyway. But like, I'm a little bit more than halfway done with the game. Still got quite a ways away because I'm about 35 hours into it. So it's gonna take me a minute. But yeah, still playing that. It's been a lot of fun.
Nice. Right on. Yeah, like I said, I'm playing Eastward on Twitch. But I also have been playing a little bit of Tales of Arise.
Okay. How's that?
That it's okay. It's really good.
Okay.
I'm actually like, I'm conflicted right now because I pre-ordered, right? I pre-ordered Eastward, and I've been playing it on Twitch. So a piece of me like feels responsible or like obligated to be like playing through that one right now. But at the same time, I really want to Twitch stream my playthrough of Tales of Arise. I'm still in the very beginning of the game, so realistically, later on, if I wanted to, I'm okay with completely starting over my game file and, you know, going at the beginning again, because I've only played it for about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, and because it's like story heavy, not a whole lot of that is like progress really that I'm losing, like levels or anything like that. It's just a lot of story that's happened. But as far as the story goes, I really enjoy it. And I'll talk about that here in just a second a little bit more, but I also today got this is actually another game that I pre-ordered a little while ago, but Kena and Bridge of Spirits, I believe is what it's called. It's that they announced it whenever they showed off the PlayStation 5 for the first time. It's that game that looks like a Pixar movie brought to, like, you know, be a video game. And it's a budget title too. It's only $40. So I have not started playing that one. So I might eventually, you know, it's short too. It's like a 9 or 10 hour experience or something. So I might want to do a Twitch stream of myself playing that game too.
Okay. Actually, there's one thing that I just remembered that I totally forgot about, both in terms of news and also a game that I'm also playing too on my side thing.
Okay.
So 2 months ago, Bandai Namco announced a trailer for a game that's going to finally come out in America, like a very popular Japanese game series that's getting more love here in America, called Super Robot Wars 30, which is the 30th anniversary of the Super Robot Wars games.
That is the most fucking Japanese name that I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For those that don't, and that's another game that I'm playing too, that I've played many times before for the Game Boy Advance, called Super Robot Wars Tizen Original Generations, which for those that don't know, that's pretty much just like a homage to like the people who love the Gundam franchise or just mecha anime in general. So it's just so like cool. A turn-based game of that with like a lot of, with of course its own original characters within the game, but also like a lot of fan favorite characters from different Gundam series or different anime robot type series. And like the Super Robot Wars 30th anniversary is pretty much just like a new game with a bunch of characters from, again, different Gundam or other mecha anime franchises into one like turn-based sort of game. And I've been playing the one for the Game Boy on that one, and that's a lot of fun. Gonna be honest, don't give two shits about the story because there's just a lot of text that I don't want to read. But it's fun. Yeah. I enjoy it a lot. So that's one thing, man. Too.
Cool,
so
man.
It's supposed to come out October of 2021.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah. If you get that or something, or we just hear reviews of it, we'll definitely have to see how that one, you know, how people react to that one.
Definitely.
Well, cool. Just still before we continue on with news, on the topic of just my experience so far with Tales of Arise, maybe we can talk more about this like as an episode. But how do you feel about games opening up with the main character having amnesia? Or even just like anime, because I feel like in Asia in general, this is a very popular thing to do.
Right. I don't hate it, but it's very like cliche thing to do. I think I would be more fine with it like starting that way. Then it's like, okay, we're starting this way. That's just how it is. Then it being like near the end of the game, they're like, oh shit, I was an orphan, or I have amnesia, or some shit like that. Like if it starts that way, that's fine. But like there's a lot of shows or a lot of games too. Like perfect example, spoiler alert for White Knight Chronicles 2, and also spoiler alert for Final Fantasy 3, is like, well, I mean, not really amnesia, but sort of the orphan thing. Yeah. Is where you have all these characters that don't really seem like they have anything in common, and then they realize, oh shit, we're orphans, and we grew up in the exact same orphanage, and that's the same. That's the exact thing that happens in Final Fantasy 3, Final Fantasy 8, and White Knight Chronicles 2. I'm just like, all right,
yeah,
that's kind of old, but yeah, the amnesia thing, like, it's old, very cliche, but I don't hate it necessarily.
Yeah, I think. Firstly, I think it's easy to do. I think it's really easy to tell a story, and to introduce people to a world that's totally brand new, because you could have this world where everything's like really fantastical, I guess, and very early on you could have a character who's like, what do you mean that you don't remember that our president is this person? What do you mean you don't remember that we have flying ships because of this reason? It's very easy
Perfect
to kind
exposition thing.
Yeah, it's an exposition thing for sure. Although I think in a lot of games, in a game like Final Fantasy VII, for instance, it's kind of alluded to sort of later on in the game that Cloud has some type of amnesia, or that his memories are weird, So in some instances, I think you can do it really well. I actually am a fan of the way that they do it in Tales of Arise, because our main character, when you open up the game, people just call him Iron Mask. He doesn't remember his name or anything. All he remembers, like the first thing that he remembers whenever he like starts remembering things again, or I guess starting to remember things again, all he knows is that he's basically just thrown into slavery, and he has a mask on his head that is completely made of iron that he's unable to remove. So people just call him Iron Mask, but he's able to see out of it. He doesn't know a whole lot right after that, but later on in the beginning of the game, you find out that he's had amnesia for about a year now. So all of the knowledge that he has when you start the game has just been everything that he's already learned over the past year of him coming to, So it's interesting because it's not like he immediately just doesn't know anything. Like, he has a lot of knowledge of a lot of things. I don't know. It's interesting. I appreciate the way that it's done. It doesn't feel like it's, another amnesia main character.
Right.
But other than that, it's good. I just wanted to get your input real fast on amnesiac main characters in games, because that is very common.
Yeah, don't mind it, but it's old.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. So we talked about Tales of Arise releasing. We talked about Kena Bridge of Spirits releasing. Another thing that kind of came out fairly recently, on September 10th. I'm getting this from RPGsite.net. We got a user feedback, sort of like, we got survey results back from whenever people played Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. And people were able, the developers of the game were able to gauge specific categories, and if people thought that it was very good, neutral, bad, or very bad.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna go through all of it because it's a lot, but there's like a notable post feedback improvements section, and it's a lot too. But stuff like stabilize the frame rate, adjust the overall graphics and lighting, adjust visibility whenever the camera hits the wall, adjust fall damage, adjust MP recovery. Like, there's a lot of stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's nice to see that Square Enix has published these criticisms that people have of the game, and they're letting us know that they have also read it, they're seeing it, and they're publishing all of this knowledge to us.
Okay. That's really cool.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder, like, is the game even going to be what we have already seen?
Because
from what it looks like, there is a lot of changes that people are asking for.
Yeah.
So I have not played I haven't played the demo yet. I don't have a
Same.
PS5.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever this game comes out, I'm sure we'll just figure out later on what all the changes were and if they were for the best or not. So,
bro, we'll find out.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have 2 video game birthdays.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So on September 17th, we got the birthday. I believe this was it's either the 19th or the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts in America.
Oh. Okay.
I think it's just about 20 years old now. I think either later on, I think next year I believe is the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Yeah, this was the 19th. Yeah. So I know you're not as into Kingdom Hearts as I am. But I know you like what's going on there. I think you're interested.
It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
But I think a lot of people are, myself included, we're really looking forward to what are they gonna do for the 20th anniversary,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They pretty much said that they're gonna stay quiet this year about Kingdom Hearts news and wait until next year.
Okay.
Which has given people a lot of hype about oh shit, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are theorizing that we're gonna see a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake.
Ooh.
That's just some speculation, but
right.
I'm up for it. Especially if it's in that Kingdom Hearts 3 engine. Oh shit, man.
Oh shit.
We also got another birthday happening. And Atlas has been talking about this for a little while, about their Persona 25th anniversary.
Oh.
The first Persona game came out on September 20th, 1996.
Wow, the damn. Okay.
Yeah, so Persona 1, I mean, Shin Megami Tensei has been around for a while, but Persona as a series started 25 years ago. And I made a little tweet poking fun at Atlas because they've been hyping up these events for Persona the 25th anniversary. They're saying, we've got a bunch of fucking announcements. And they kicked everything off with basically 2 announcements.
Okay.
That all of the Persona anime will be available on a Japanese-only streaming service, only in Japan.
Oh, lovely.
So that's really fortunate for me. I'm so grateful for that.
Yes, very good.
And the other one was they're releasing a Persona-themed watch, for your a wristwatch.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. And
they had this big live stream that people waited for, it was a fucking Sony conference or Nintendo what do they call them? Nintendo Directs,
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, that's it seems like a lot of Japanese companies do that. That's literally what it was like for the JoJo at first with Part 6, because at first they made a Twitter account being like, hey, watch out for some JoJo Part 6 news at the end of this conference, and everyone was super excited for it, so hyped. And then it was just a 30-minute conference where they showed footage from a conference from last year. They just replayed that, and then at the end of the conference they showed the Part 6 trailer, and we all just oh shit, maybe they're gonna, it was the same Part 6 teaser. Then it's oh shit, maybe they're gonna show the actual trailer and give us a release date. No, there was just them at the end of the teaser being hey, we're gonna have an announcement about Part 6 in a month from now. So literally it was just an announcement for an announcement. I'm just that you had to pay for
shit, man.
Yeah,
I hate
it was a complete waste of time.
Yeah, so that was big disappointing. That was the equivalent of the Capcom E3 conference.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But speaking of people who know how to make good live stream announcements, the Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker event happened kind of recently, where they were gearing up for just letting loose a lot of news about Endwalker. I'm still not there yet. That's another one that I think I'm going to want to start streaming eventually, is playing through Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But I want to get through this whole game's story. I feel like, from what I hear from everyone, this is the best that Final Fantasy has been in a long time.
Yeah, I've heard the story is great to Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. So they came out with a fucking long, very well done trailer during this stream where they basically went through all of the job classes that are going to be in Endwalker, and it showed off extended looks at all of their job actions, all of their animations for all of their everything they can do,
Oh, okay.
Just stuff like that. I mean, it's not who was asking for that? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not big into MMOs right now. I mean, I'm trying to get into this one, but I've never been so enthralled with an MMO before that I've been one of those people who are just show us what their their heavy attack command looks like, and
Yeah.
I just thought that it was so cool that they spent the time to kind of, I don't know, for the people who are really into that sort of thing, I'm sure that was extremely exciting for them, and I was glad to see it.
Definitely.
So yeah, another thing that Square Enix recently did is they came out with a little teaser trailer called Voice of Cards, The Isle Dragon Roars. And this is an extremely short trailer that they only have a Japanese trailer out, so I don't know what any of the text is saying on the screen, but it's just a little CGI trailer. They show a lot of cards. It's called The Voice of Cards, so cards are going to have a big thing to do with this. But of the little information that's out right now, is they're saying it's billed as a tabletop RPG video game built on cards, and it's directed by Yoko Taro.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. Okay, interesting. Well,
So, yeah.
do love me some card games, and Yoko Taro's fucking dope. So
Oh yeah, we love that guy.
yeah.
Just something to keep our eye on. There's really nothing out about it at all other than just that information that I said right there. Unless I'm wrong. If there's more information about that game, feel free to let us know about it. I'm interested.
Please do.
I know this next piece of news, I think we've talked about this before. But this month, Dragon Quest: The Adventures of Dai is coming out, which is I believe, yeah. So it's a free-to-play mobile game. But didn't you say that you watched The Adventure of Dai, the anime?
No, I didn't watch it. I just heard that it was coming out. I haven't checked any of it out yet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about The Adventure of Dai. I know that it was a spin-off Dragon Quest anime for a little while and manga. And this kind of seems like a fast-paced sort of mobile gacha game, But hey, I mean, if these gacha games have stories that are worth kind of going through, I might check in on these kind of games every now and then, just with a purely free account, not spend any money on it. Kingdom Hearts, what's it called? Union Cross. I kept up with that game since I was in high school, as a freshman in high school.
Damn.
And it only just ended, and the entire time,
Jesus.
I would be lying if I didn't buy a few jewel packs during my time. But given the fact that I had been keeping up with it for years and years, and only spent maybe $15 on it.
Oh wow, that's actually very good.
I'm pretty impressed with myself, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Compared to a lot of other people, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the story to that game. I really, personally, I think it's one of the more interesting story arcs in the Kingdom Hearts universe. So you can make these free to play games have compelling stories, and with a series like Dragon Quest, I would be pretty disappointed if there wasn't some sort of story there.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So the next little piece of news. Nothing crazy, just that Neo The World Ends With You is getting a PC version next week.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. As someone who is now become more of a PC player because I just got like a new computer and I got this whole new like gaming setup going on right now. That's interesting. I did already purchase the game though for PS4, so I'm probably not going to buy the PC port, but that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Now they just got to put, unless you use the Nintendo DS emulator or whatever, they need to make like some sort of PC port for the first World Ends With You.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
they should.
Another thing real fast, I think this is the last piece of news. But before we get into like what I really want to talk about, and these have all just kind of been out of order. I've just been I saw a bunch of intriguing tabs that I could open up about everything that's happened in the past couple of weeks. But a couple of days ago, we got Deltarune Chapter 2. Have you played Undertale, right? Or at least seen gameplay of Undertale?
I've seen gameplay, yes, I have.
Yeah, Undertale was great, man. I still recommend anybody who has not played Undertale. I still recommend it. It's a good RPG, very funny, great music, great visuals, solid game. Toby Fox, creator of that game, made a game called Deltarune, which is Undertale, like with the letters jumbled up.
Oh, okay.
And it's the first. I mean, it obviously has a lot of parallels as far as like visuals and some gameplay aspects of it and stuff. But for the most part, it seems standalone. But apparently, it will all connect somehow. And both Chapter 1 and 2 are both free to play. He just straight up has just been uploading these just for people to play and not have to pay for them. So that's super cool.
That's very cool.
Haven't checked out Chapter 2 yet, but I might do that on stream. So.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay, DJ. I guess before we get into some of the other stuff, did you have anything else that, shot out to you or nah?
I'm sure might as well, I guess. If you want, you can check out my personal channel, Mushroom Man. For those that don't know.
No, you're good. You're good to keep going. But I meant more so along the lines of just like news stuff.
Oh no!
You're welcome to plug your stuff right now in the middle of the podcast. That's fine.
No, yeah, that's what I thought you meant when you said more for me. I have nothing.
Do you want to just save that for later on, or?
Yeah, I'll save that for later.
Okay, cool. So we got a big leak happen. And I think I've seen a lot of people say that this is probably one of the biggest leaks that we have ever seen. Like a lot of games were leaked. And just as a quick update to this, a lot of the games that were leaked here, NVIDIA even came out and basically said, yes, this list of games is real.
Oh, shit. Okay.
But they said this, and I don't believe them. Let me first say what they next said, I don't believe. They said that the titles that you see in this list are not confirmed and are purely speculative. Yeah. But I'm seeing the names of a lot of these games, and I'm like, who is speculating these? Like, there's just a lot of games on here that I'm like, I don't know if this was just like speculative. I really like who is saying that Final Fantasy IX Remake is coming out right now? Like, who is like speculating that is the current thing that they're working on?
Right. Yeah.
If anything, it's like maybe 10 Part 3, like at like the most wildest.
Right.
But they're not even, at least as compared to the original Final Fantasy VII story, they're not even like close to being done with that, I don't think. So like already jumping to 9. Also, it's like, why 9? Why wouldn't it be 6 or 8 or all these other games that people have been begging for remakes for years?
Right.
So we won't have to go through like every single one of the games that was on here, but I have a list of these games. And kind of some of them that stood out to me that I think are interesting to note is like stuff like the Batman Arkham Knight getting like a ray traced remaster. Some stuff on here too is stuff that's already been confirmed. Like we have trailers for it. Stuff like Bayonetta 3, right?
Yeah.
We've known about Bayonetta 3, but we don't know.
Long.
Wait, what's up?
No, I was just saying, like, man, they announced that so long ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one. Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4. It's like they're kind of leaving us hanging there.
Yeah. Hopefully soon, though.
So, Bioshock 2022 is another one that's on here.
Oh.
Which is cool because it's like, that's all it says is Bioshock 2022. So that could be a remake, that could be a brand new game. Right. But right under that, they also have Bioshock Rtx Remaster. So some kind of like, more up-to-date remaster of Bioshock 1, I assume. I'm assuming that's what that means.
Yeah.
They have stuff on here too, like Catherine Full Body. And it's like, that's already a game that came out a while ago and very recently got a remaster. So it's like, is this a sequel to Catherine? Or is this like some other kind of remake or like some Persona 5 Royal type shit? Yeah, some other games that have already, come out like Death Stranding, Director's Cut, Demon Souls. Destroy All Humans 3 is interesting for me to see. I've never been a huge Crysis fan, but I know a lot of people who are. And they say Crysis 4 is on here. Okay. Yeah, like we talked about earlier, Final Fantasy IX Remake.
Yeah, that's okay. That'd be tight.
I just like it's just such a, I don't know, that's just so wild to me. And if that's real, man, I am so ready for it, dude.
Oh, definitely. But it seems kind of weird with like, they're working on 7 Remake and now it's just like, oh, we're also doing 9 Remake too. It's like, okay, don't want to finish 7 first? Okay.
Yeah, for real. And I feel like for a lot of people, that's going to be off-putting. Because so many people, I've talked to coworkers about this, a lot of people don't realize that these games aren't really connected.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people
a lot of people still don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people say, Final Fantasy VII, why would I just jump in on the 7th one? Wouldn't I have to play 1 through 6? And it's like, no, you don't. Yeah, you don't, but a lot of people still assume that. So I'm assuming now with people who are playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, they got left with that cliffhanger.
We just need to have like a global announcement about like, hey,
yeah, play them in any order, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck? What's a Final Fantasy? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but now it's like if. Like, people will be waiting on Final Fantasy Remake Part 2, but then before that, you get an announcement for, like, Final Fantasy IX Remake. And I just feel like it's, I don't know, like, as exciting as this is, I just feel like Square is doing the most confusing work here, It doesn't make sense to me. But another thing that's on here, though, as far as Final Fantasy goes, is Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster.
Yes, sir.
It's so cool, man.
That's awesome.
I really hope that that's like confirmed, like this is a confirmed leak,
Yeah, please.
Because we got War of the Lions, which is cool. That one really was a complete like remaster of the first one.
Yeah, definitely.
So I wonder if it's going to be just like a War of the Lions port to modern hardware or something, because that was only on PSP. And I think you can still find PS1 copies of Tactics, and it's fairly cheap. I think you can find a copy of it for like less than $20, I believe, maybe $25. But you could also play War of the Lions on phones too, I believe. You can get it like on the App Store, but a full like remaster. I wonder what that would include. Like I wonder if it would be like 3D, or if they made it in the same like graphical style as like Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy. Fuck, dude, that would be so good.
That would be very good. Yeah,
that would be so good, man. Okay, so just kind of moving down a little bit more. Gears 6, like Gears of War 6. That's crazy. I feel like we only just got 5 kind of recently. We got Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas remasters.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be crazy. Injustice 3. I don't know if you ever played any of the... Have you played any Injustice games?
No. I have not.
Those are pretty good, and they have a really solid story to them.
Actually,
too.
that's a lie. I've played a little bit of one, but not the story. Just fucking around in the versus mode.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, Injustice is the fighting game made by the same people who did Mortal Kombat. It's their take on the DC Comics Injustice universe.
Yeah.
So like Superman is like the villain, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The story's really, really good. I loved Injustice 2. So, yeah, if we got like a PS5, Xbox Series S, you know, Injustice 3, that'd be super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts 4. This is also on here.
Woo!
So, yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 4 already? Oh, okay. Oh.
I know. We're not getting like 10 like in between games until then.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Okay.
This is one that comes across to me not much as a leak. Like, if anything on here is speculative, I think it's this one because it's like what the you think they're not going to make Kingdom Hearts 4?
Right. Yeah.
like they're going to. Like, it made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, there's no way they'd be like, "Oh, we're done."
Yeah, and you know, Modern Square and Disney own the rights to it, so it's like, of course they're gonna fucking pump this out until way after my death. Like,
yeah, 100%.
This is gonna happen. Kingdom Hearts 4 is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 HD.
Oh,
That's also pretty wild. Just because Metal Gear Solid 3, I love Metal Gear Solid 2 as well, but 3 in particular has been one of my favorite games for many years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this just means, you know, we're going to get just a port of like the HD collection that was on PS3, or if we're straight up getting like, you know, 2 and 3 remakes, because it just says HD. That could mean anything, I guess.
Right.
We also got Monster Hunter 6.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, that one looks pretty cool. We got another game just called Ratchet and Clank. I'm assuming that's probably just, you know, the placeholder name for whatever the next Ratchet and Clank is.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 4 remake.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, they've been alluding to that for such a long time.
Yeah.
Shin Megami Tensei 5, we already knew about that one. Street Fighter 6.
Finally,
and
Jesus.
And Tekken 8.
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
That's true. Yeah, DJ's the Tekken guy.
Well, I mean, probably don't want to say there's people who know way more about Tekken
Bro,
than me.
DJ is the Tekken guy.
Oh,
He's
God,
never
please
gotten
no.
a single thing wrong about Tekken.
No.
He knows everything about it. He's the Tekken guy.
That's right. Yeah, I'm super into the meta. Fucking love it.
Acceptance.
Yeah. But I'm fucking excited for that. I mean, those make sense that they would make those, but yeah, I'm excited for Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. Not Street Fighter, really. Tekken 8. I'm not super into Street Fighter.
Yeah, I think I was into Street Fighter a lot whenever I was like in the 6th grade. I got Street Fighter 5, I believe, and that was it might have been before then. I can't remember. Or sorry, not 5. It's like 4 Super Ultra or whatever for PS3.
God, I hate that.
Yeah. So we'll probably, before we even get Street Fighter 6, we'll probably get 4 more versions of Street Fighter 5.
Probably.
We also got Titanfall 3. I've never been huge into Titanfall, but hey, third one, that's cool.
Tight.
Tomb Raider Anniversary. I don't know if this is a like remake of the first one or like a remake of or remaster of the rebooted Tomb Raider that came out in 2012 or whatever.
You know, you just mentioning Tomb Raider just makes me think to myself, like, I should really play like a Tomb Raider game, I think, now that I think about it.
I played and beat my first Tomb Raider while I was living over here in my current apartment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so fairly recently, I played through, because I believe it was a free game on the PlayStation Store, but it's Tomb Raider, the one that came out in 2012 or whatever, like the reboot of the series. Those are cool games, man. I'm excited to continue that story because the story in that game was awesome.
Tight.
I'm really into games like Uncharted and stuff as well, so like that's, that was right up my alley.
Right.
We got... Oh, there's a tab here that just says various Nintendo games running via an emulator.
Oh.
So to me, that means maybe N64 classics or like Game Boy Advance classics, like coming to the Nintendo Switch eShop, like online.
They definitely need to add more classic games to like, so that way, people have less of an incentive to, emulate.
Yeah. Which
they clearly hate.
They clearly hate this, but at the same time, like every month or something, they'll come out with a trailer being like, "Oh, we've got 2 Super Nintendo games coming out on the Super Nintendo Classics shop, and 1 NES game, and all 3 of the games will just be some shit that I've never heard of before."
Right? Yeah.
Just some like co-op game or some crazy difficult game or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, guys, fucking put the games on there that people want,
right?
And if you run out of games on that console, move on to the next console. Add some fucking Game Boy games or something.
Yeah, like when I think of Game Boy games that they could add, I'm thinking like the original Pokemon games, like Fire Red, Leaf Green, Sapphire, all those. Right. I feel like those would be perfect to put on their stores. People would eat that shit up.
Exactly. You could even stuff like that. You could even price it too. Make them $10 a piece or whatever. Like, I'll buy it.
Yeah, I would buy that. Yeah, totally.
I mean, make it free, but I'd buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Last thing on this list, it says XCOM 3. I've never been into XCOM, but yeah, that's cool. Anyways,
I kind of want to get into those games, but I know they're also extremely fucking difficult.
Yeah, I've got them on my Steam library, so I might get into those. But yeah, that's not all of the games, but those are just some of them that have kind of stood out to me in the
That's
particular list that I was looking at. That is a lot. I don't know. Do you have any other sort of thoughts on that? Maybe some like hopes for some of the games that I mentioned on there?
I mean, just the ones you mentioned: Kingdom Hearts 4, the Resident Evils, Tekkens, all those. Yeah, pretty much what you said. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 9 remake, yeah.
What do you think they're gonna do with Tekken 8? I know I'm not versed into the active story right now. I know you did a pretty decent amount of just looking into and experiencing firsthand a lot of those stories. But I guess the prospects of Tekken 8, like how are you feeling about that one?
Well, it's story-wise, it's pretty clear where they're going to go because they pretty much teased what the story is going to be about at the end of Tekken 7. So I have a good idea where it's going to go, kind of ish. Otherwise, now the main thing I'm kind of worried about is what they're going to do with one of the main characters' deaths, how they're going to handle that. Because in a lot of the Tekken games, they quote-unquote kill off a character only for them to come back again in the next game in the story. So, but I mean, the way that they made it look in 7, they made it seem like, oh no, he's dead for real. So, but we're all just like, I don't know. With their track record, he could potentially come back. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, either way, I'm gonna fucking love it. But I guess my main thing that I'm worried about is because in a lot of the other Tekken games, 1 through 6, they have of course the main story with the Mishima family. But then they'd also have like the side characters' stories, like their sort of what if sort of adventures where you follow that. And each game it would like take off from where their story left off. Like King's story, what happened in 1, you get to see what happens in the next game with his story continuing and stuff like that. But then in 7, they pretty much just said fuck that, and like literally there's all the other side character story modes is just you just do one fight and it has nothing to do with at all the story of what happened in the previous games for then. It's just like some random bullshit, which is dumb. So I'm hoping in terms of that with the side characters, they actually flesh out their stories instead of just some random bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do more research into that game's story just because I'm I don't know what it is about just like complex stories like that. Like long running series that have like, all these connecting webs and stuff. I'm so into that shit. Like,
Yeah.
even if it's not something I'm like directly interested in, like it's not the story that I go for, just like when I see
the idea of it.
Yeah, when I see something like that exists, I'm just like, I gotta know what's going on. Okay, so that was our NVIDIA leak. I'm excited to see what on there is going to be because I don't know, with NVIDIA straight up being like, yeah, this is a real list of games that y'all have pulled from our website. But it's all speculative. Some of that stuff I'm like, that seems so weird to just speculate that that's happening,
Right.
So I'm excited to see what's real. I'm excited to see, what's going to be debunked or whatever. But anyways, that's that.
That's that.
The last thing I wanted to talk about too was this PlayStation showcase that we just got.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a lot of cool stuff on here, man. Me and Brandon actually, right before he had moved out, one of the last things we did together was we sat on our couch and we watched the live stream happen together.
Oh, nice.
I'm sure Brandon could tell you his experience watching it with me. But dude, I was like fucking jumping. I was like running around the fucking living room, dude. I called up one of my buddies being like, "Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see when they announced this?"
Yeah.
We'll get into it now, but man, I was thoroughly, it's like whenever Sony's like, we're skipping out on E3. It's kind of like, if this is what they come back with, they can fucking skip E3 for the rest of E3's existence. I don't care.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Like stuff like this was so worth it.
It was worth it, 100%. Yeah.
So they opened up the show with Knights of the Old Republic Remake. I'm pumped for it, man. This isn't a game. I know me and you don't really talk much about things like Star Wars, but I don't know. Like, have you played Knights of the Old Republic or any other Star Wars video games?
I have not played Knights of the Old Republic, but I know it's like a very well loved and like really good game. Other Star Wars games, I played a little bit of, not a little bit. Every now and then, me and my old friend back in elementary school, I would go to his house and we'd play Battlefront 2 for the PS2, and that one was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. I played a little bit of the ones that came out for the PS3. I can't remember what that Star Wars game is called.
Oh, like Unleashed, like
yeah, that one. I played like 20 minutes of that. That was pretty cool. I should probably play more of that.
Those are cool games. Like the premise of those, it's like you're playing as Darth Vader's apprentice.
Yeah.
Such a cool concept.
And then I played a bit of the new Battlefront games that came out for the PS4. Those ones were kind of ass.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much been all of my Star Wars video game experience. Just those a little bit.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah, I played a good chunk of Knights of the Old Republic back in I want to say maybe like 8th grade. I think they came out on PC and Xbox. Like it was an Xbox game. But I played it on my computer back then, and I still have a copy on my PC. I might want to boot it up sometime just to get familiar with just the story, the gameplay, and all that, because that'll be cool to see all those differences.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, just a teaser, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah, definitely. That's tight. That's a good way to open up.
Oh, dude, yes. Like, I immediately, like, once I saw that was their opener, I was like, okay, it's either going downhill from here, or it's only going uphill from here. And it was like you start high, like on a high slope, and then it kind of gradually sort of went down, and then just kind of like soared way up, like towards that second half.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we'll get to talking about all those. The next thing they mentioned was a game called Project Eve.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you watched the trailer for that one, right?
Just gotta look at it again. Remember?
Yes. It looks really cool. It's kind of like this. It kind of looks like a mix of like Bayonetta, Near Automata, Devil May Cry. Like, it's got all of these really, like, crazy styles going on, you know?
Oh, yeah. Very action-packed anime kind of game.
Yeah, super action-packed. You know, got this, like, super... I don't know. How would you describe this main character?
Well, she's anime, so if you know anime, obviously she's very attractive.
Yep. I don't want to say anything as a married guy.
Right.
But yep, she's anime.
Yeah, there you go. That's
they have this, you know, like she flies out into space and you see this fucking whack, like, spaceship with, like, this crazy alien life form with all these wings and this huge eye, and it's got tentacles and shit. It looks crazy, man.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, this is a game that I think I'm gonna keep my eye on this one just because.
Definitely, yeah, it looks really fucking cool.
I love games that have worlds like these. Like, I don't know, like, is it supposed to take place on Earth or something? Like, how many years in the future is this?
Like, it's next year.
Yeah, 2023. Yeah, so I'm into it, man. That's a game that I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on.
Hell yeah.
The other one too was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is just a
oh yeah,
it's that game that's based off of a Borderlands 2 DLC.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
but it's got a lot of like big name actors in it. Like, I'm pretty sure like Will Arnett and Andy Samberg are, like, they play main characters in the story. It's kind of cool. I mean, I've only played Borderlands 1. I have not played...
Same.
I played a little bit of Borderlands 2. But I'm not super familiar with the whole story, but from my understanding, this game really doesn't have anything to do with any of the story. And it's kind of just like if Borderlands was more in, like, a Dungeons and Dragons fantasy style setting, then it's sort of like wasteland post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah, which I appreciate a different setting. That's really cool to do.
I think that alone, I think, is enough to make me want to play it more than the other Borderlands games, at least.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Like, I think post-apocalyptic settings are cool. But
they do it a lot.
But yeah, that's like the whole series is that. And if they're going to, like, change it up to be just, like, really fantasy, like fantasy with guns, shit.
Could you imagine a Final Fantasy game with just guns?
Yeah, just give VV a gun.
Yeah, there you go.
They better give VV a gun in the 9 remake.
They fucking better.
VV's not fucking around. We got Forspoken, which was, what was the original project name?
No clue.
Like, Square Enix showed off the trailer for Forspoken during, like, the PlayStation 5 announcement or something.
Yeah.
And it was under some other name.
I don't remember what it was, but I
know.
Like Project
Athia or Athia.
Oh, yeah, something like that, yeah.
So they showed off a good portion of this game. Just kind of like what the world looks like. It really, like, I'm interested in it, but it really, I saw a news article kind of talking about this, but I can't help but think its purpose for being a game is solely to show off the power of PlayStation 5, you know?
Probably.
Like, when I see gameplay footage of it, it looks cool, but it also just looks like a big tech demo.
Yeah.
Not that that's entirely a bad thing, but I just hope that there's a good amount of substance to it.
Right, because right now, just looking at the trailer, it just seems like it's just this empty wasteland with fighting a bunch of monsters.
Yeah, like it's visually fucking breathtathing. Like, it looks
definitely
really good, you know. And if it is a tech demo, it's going to be an awesome one. But I just hope that as far as the story goes and performances and gameplay and all that, I hope it's not just looked at like that when it comes out, you know.
Definitely, I agree. Yeah.
Rainbow Six. Not about it. We got an Alan Wake remastered. Just, you know, not like a remake or anything. I never played the original Alan Wake, but I know the video game Control is connected to this game.
Oh, okay.
Like, did you ever play Control at all?
No.
I know there was like a DLC to Control called AW. I don't know. It's something. It ties the two games to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I might be interested in it just for getting that connection, because I still haven't even played Control yet either. But since you're supposed to kind of play these games in the order of Alan Wake and then Control, I'm kind of like,
okay.
I might get this game.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. Then they got Ghostwire Tokyo. I remember they showed this game off a little while ago. This is one of those games that I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic. Like, I want it to be really good, but at the same time, they announced this game a really long time ago, I'm afraid it's going to be like a Tokyo, or what's it like a development hell sort of situation.
Right. Yeah.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it seems interesting.
Yeah. All the supernatural stuff kind of has like a Bioshock feel to it.
That's true. Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. They showed off another little trailer for that. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. Yeah, I mean, right here, this is kind of the point in the show where I was kind of like, okay, show me some games that I fucking care about, because
they just like, but I love that game. I'm so excited.
I don't know. It's just like, after they showed off Grand Theft Auto 5, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I feel you. That's when you sort of turn your brain off. Like, all right.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, show me a first party something now,
Mm-hmm.
Then they showed off Deathloop, and I've heard it's been getting really solid reviews.
Okay.
I've heard some people say it's not like, because IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. They said it was a masterpiece.
Well, it's IGN, so
it is IGN, but they also gave Metal Gear Solid 5 a 10 out of 10. That was the last 10 out of 10 that I remember them giving out. I'm sure they've given out another one, but stuff like that. Like, whenever you say a game is fucking perfect, people are gonna take that and go into video games with an expectation that this is a 10 out of 10 game. Like, I can't put this any lower because there's nothing else wrong with it, And a lot of people look at scoring games like that in a really interesting light. And so I'm kind of like, I don't know, like, why did they give it a 10 out of 10? Because then I also watched Critical's review, and he gave it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. And
I don't know if this isn't a game that I've played yet, but regardless of how it's getting scored right now, this game showed up in the PlayStation event, and dude, I was so tired of seeing footage for this game, dude.
Right.
I've just seen, like, every single time that there's like a PlayStation event, they show off a brand new trailer for Deathloop, and it always takes up like 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm like, bro, like, you've showed us this game like a million times already. Like, don't put it in your announcement event,
Right.
Anyways, there's my little rant on
Deathloop.
I haven't even played the game, but fuck it.
Fuck that shit.
They showed off something called Kid A Amnesia or Amnesia exhibition. I don't really know what this is. I just know that it's something. It is something that is, I guess, also backed by Radiohead. Like, and I don't know if you've ever listened to Radiohead. I used to listen to Radiohead a lot, and their album Kid A is one of my favorite albums by Radiohead. So this is called Kid A Amnesia exhibition. I don't really know what this is. They didn't really show off anything about it that made me. I don't know. Like, I don't care. Like, what is this? Like, why did you include this in your show? You didn't even show off really anything. I don't know.
Yeah, anything to get excited for, really.
Yeah, there was.
Unless you're like a super Radiohead fan, I guess.
Yeah. If you're a big fucking Radiohead fan, it's kind of like, maybe there's an interest in as to what it is. But even if you are a huge Radiohead fan, it's kind of like, what is this though?
Right. Yeah.
Like, is it a game? Is it a rhythm game? What is this? Anyways, they showed off a game called Chia, Tchia, Tchia. This is that game that they showed off that kind of looked like Wind Waker, but it showed you kind of like possessing like the bodies of crabs and stuff.
On some
and
Mario
birds.
Odyssey sort of shit.
Yeah. So, this is just kind of one of those games that I think really appeals to all ages. Like, this is probably going to be an E for everyone, relaxing sort of puzzle game.
Yeah, I see that when I look at the trailer,
Yeah. So kind of cool. I might look into that later on. That might be something that someone like my wife could play because it just kind of seems like a visually pleasing sort of puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe nothing crazy challenging there, so that might be cool to look into.
Yeah, definitely.
They showed off Uncharted Legacy of Thieves. So, that's the Uncharted 4, right? Like, Legacy of Thieves. Wait, let me see what this is.
It's a collection.
Oh yeah, it's the collection of 4 and what's it called? Lost Legacy.
Oh, okay.
Which was like that sort of like miniature Uncharted game.
Mm-hmm.
They basically just said, "Hey, we're adding like PlayStation 5 functionality to it, so it's coming to PS5 and PC."
Tight.
Which it's cool that it's coming to PC, but that also is kind of like, what the fuck? Are you going to put the first 3 on PC as well?
Right. Man, they're really fucking over PC people with their game releases.
Yeah, it's like PC players, you'll get the 8th release of the series.
Yeah.
And then you'll get everything going forward from there, but we're not going to give you the first releases.
No.
Okay. This is the one. This is the one that made me fucking jump out of my chair, dude. Or jump off the couch. Marvel's Wolverine.
Oh, yes, sir. That was tight to see.
Dude, I went into it thinking, well, Insomniac just put out Ratchet and Clank.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that they're going to show off Spider-Man 2. Like, that was my mindset. I'm like, they're not going to show off Spider-Man 2. They're probably not going to be here with anything. Like,
nah, no way.
Yeah, I mean they're taking a break. They just had a big PlayStation 5 release. Like they're
done. They're done.
Chilling.
Yeah,
dude. So we see Insomniac games pop up. We see Marvel. Immediately, I'm thinking, oh fuck, it's Spider-Man 2. Holy shit. We see this like bar scene. People are fucking lying over chairs and tables and stuff. Like big fight, big massacre. Can't really tell what happened, but people are knocked out. We see a guy, in a flannel shirt sitting at a bar drinking his whiskey or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We see a guy walking up behind him. We don't see anyone's face. We just see a guy walking behind him holding a knife. He's about to stab this dude, and then it goes back to the guy sitting at the table. You look at his knuckles, and dude, I was just like, what the fuck is this? What are they going to show? What are they going to show? And then, boom, the claws come out.
Oh, so iconic.
Dude, bro.
Hell yeah.
I'm so into it.
Definitely, dude. Fuck yeah. Wolverine game in
a
2020.
Wolverine game.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be so, like, Wolverine and Spider-Man. This is the other crazy thing, like, the fact that Insomniac has not only, come out with a superhero game based off of my favorite superhero, they're coming out with a superhero game based on my other favorite superhero,
Hey,
like I'm
2-in-1,
I'm
baby.
so into Wolverine. I used to be so into the X-Men and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we just got a little teaser for it, but wow. How did you feel whenever you saw that one?
I was not expecting that at all. I'm excited. I like the idea of having main games based off of other characters that aren't the popular Spider-Man, Batman,
Right.
Like the fact that they're, giving the spotlight to other. I mean, Wolverine's really popular too, but in comparison to Spider-Man and Batman,
oh sure, yeah,
it's like, oh shit, that's really cool to see. And I hope in the future they do more of that.
Yeah. And I think the other Wolverine games, like X-Men games or whatever, we haven't really gotten a really good game where you play as Wolverine. Like I think there might have been one a while ago, but there's been a lot of Batman games. There's been a lot of Spider-Man games. It's like finally it's about time that we got like a good Wolverine game.
Definitely.
So, and there's like blood in the trailer too. I mean,
Ooh.
it's just that CGI teaser. So I'm like, fuck, are they going to make a rated M Wolverine game?
I don't see why not.
And the only other thing too that makes me think, maybe they won't do that is the fact that this is connected to the Spider-Man games that they've made.
Makes sense.
So it's going to be like, this new Marvel in video game universe,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super pumped for that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, no release date on that. But they then showed off Gran Turismo 7.
Oh.
And I think in one of our first couple of episodes, I mentioned to you that, like, other than a lot of like action games or RPG games, I'm really into. I'm not like a racing game guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love Mario Kart, obviously.
Yeah. Marcus.
But Gran Turismo in particular holds a special place in my heart because of the relationship that me and my dad had to that game while I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I played the hell out of Gran Turismo 4 on the PlayStation 2 and then Gran Turismo 5 on the PS3. Like, dude, I remember I would wake up at like 3:30 in the morning because I thought I could hear something outside, and my dad would just be up like on the PlayStation playing Gran Turismo 5. Like, he was into it.
Wow.
I haven't played it. I haven't played a Gran Turismo game in a little bit, but I think when I do get a PlayStation 5, I think this will have to be one of those purchases, just for the sake of getting a Gran Turismo game.
Yeah. Well, tight.
Yeah. And then we got Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Oh.
Yeah, man, trailer for this one too, dude. We got the Wolverine announcement, and then I was like, wow, I was like, after that Wolverine announcement, I was like, I don't even fucking need them to announce anything else. Like, if they just if they just said like, hey, we're not even making Spider-Man 2 for like the next like 5 years or whatever, or even longer or something, I wouldn't even care because I would just be so fucking pumped for the Wolverine game. And then, oh my god, man, they had one game announcement in between Marvel's Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. And like, boom, Marvel, Insomniac Games. Holy shit, like, what are they doing here? I thought it was going to be like another sort of like spin-off kind of game. Kind of like, or not spin-off, because Miles Morales isn't really a spin-off. It's standalone. It's just kind of one of those miniature games. Like, it's a budget game. I thought that's what they were going to do again. But then, boom, they play the voice of what sounds like Kraven to me. And they, I forget what he says, but then, you hear the voice of Venom come out.
Yeah.
And then you see Venom's face, and it's like, oh my god, they're fucking doing Venom. And I'm probably more well-versed with the Marvel comics alone than you are probably. I could be wrong, but whenever I heard because to me, I was like, this sounds like it could be Kraven. I think that would be really cool if we had the villain of Kraven and
Kraven, yeah, the hunter,
yeah. Like, I felt like it would be really cool if we get Kraven and Venom, and if we get Kraven in this game, then that means that he's probably going to have like close ties to Sabretooth, who is one of the Wolverine's villains, one of his big villains. So I'm like, holy shit, like, is this how we're gonna like sort of bridge that gap and like have the universe sort of connect to each other?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's all just speculative right now. Both Wolverine and Spider-Man 2, all we got were teasers, but holy shit, man. Well received trailers.
Definitely, yeah. After seeing those,
teasers.
I really need to buckle down on playing this first Spider-Man game because I haven't played it yet. Still, I need to play that.
I would definitely say even if you just play the base PS4 version, solid game, dude. The PS5 version, they completely changed the character model of Peter Parker. He looks like an entirely different person. So it's kind of like it's different in that way. The character model that they changed him to in the PS5 version is the character model that they will use for Peter Parker going forward.
Oh, okay.
But the story is unchanged in the PS5 version. So even if you just played that PS4 version, you'll get everything that's going on. So
Okay.
I would, if I could just recommend, you to just play the game. Yeah, don't try to wait for the PS5 version. Like if you're just waiting on that, like don't worry, you can play the PS4 version because it's awesome.
Thank you, Gavin.
You're welcome, DJ. You got my blessing. Then we got God of War Ragnarok.
Oh,
this was
shit.
Yeah. This was their show ender.
Good one. Good one.
Yeah, it was great. They showed off like 3 minutes of it, and then they had like a big fat developer interview with the directors of the game. Man, there was just so much to unpack in that trailer.
Definitely.
For some reason, I know that there's already been weird controversy about it or whatever, but
Really?
regardless, dude, yeah, just some weird stuff like people saying, like there's a black character who shows up at the end of the trailer, but then some people are like, there wouldn't have been any black people like in this sort of
Okay.
mythos
They're going
or
with that
whatever.
angle. All right.
But it's like, hey guys, this is all fiction.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
None of this is real.
Yeah.
Like they can put black people in the game.
They're allowed.
They're allowed to do that. Anyways, but just all of that aside, though, this game looks awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
I think maybe just because I was watching the streamed version, I haven't really gone back to watch the trailer by itself. But visually, I mean, it looks not that this is a bad thing, but it looks just like the first God of War game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, the first one looked awesome, and now there's like a PS5 like upgrade for the PS5 version or for God of War as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how different God of War 2 or God of War Ragnarok is going to be visually or gameplay wise, but I'm really excited for it. Yeah. You and did you and Brandon like finish that game?
Did me and myself? No.
Yeah,
we haven't, but we're gonna we plan on continuing with it soon, which I really want to.
Okay.
Can't remember exactly where off the top of my head though.
Okay. Yeah. If you're listening and you don't know what I'm talking about, one of our other channels called Videoverse, we play video games on that one. We don't do a face cam or anything. It's we've kind of changed up the format, over the years that it's been around. But for the most part, we're just sitting there having a good time playing video games.
Just standard Let's Play kind of shit.
Yes, yeah, Let's Play videos. Brandon, my old roommate, DJ's current roommate, and yeah, the two of them have been playing through God of War on there for quite some time.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what I was talking about by have y'all played it or finished it?
Nope, but definitely want to.
Yeah. Okay, man. That's it.
That's it.
That was a big one. Do you have any other closing thoughts on just kind of the E3 or not E3? It was like E3. It felt
pretty
like
much,
E3
yeah.
with all of those big fucking announcements.
Yeah, no, the PlayStation definitely killed it. Not really, just definitely excited for a lot of these games, and just as a video game boy, makes me want to play video games. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat. Feel like we've been talking about this for a while. Went on a little longer than I was expecting it to, but that's fine.
That's fine. That's all right.
Glad we got some good news in here, but before we sign off, DJ, do you want to plug yourself real fast?
Sure. Let me plug myself now this time.
Yeah, not right in the middle of our podcast.
I'm sorry. So, if anybody is interested, I have my own personal channel called Mushroom Man, which is pretty much a review channel where I talk about and make fun of different anime, movies, and video games, but also do something a little bit different on the side to mix it up, like things like my 1 second of One Piece series, or top 10 videos, or just like the one video that I did with Gavin and a bunch of other friends where I pretty much just took a bunch of friends who know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh! And started a tournament with them. Just That's different fun things like that. Yeah, very good one. Different things like that. So if you're interested, check that out.
Cool. Right on. Twitter, anything like that?
Yeah, sure. Follow me on Twitter at Mushy Squishy. There you go.
Cool. Yeah, I usually leave links to your channel and stuff like that in the bio of these podcasts. So
appreciate it.
Yeah, go check out DJ, all of his stuff. Other than that, thank you guys. This has been mostly just news discussion, which I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of news. The subtitle of this podcast is RPG News and Reviews. So we're keeping our promise, I guess. Yep. So yeah, thank you so much, DJ, again for joining me on this one.
Thank you.
I want to try to get to another episode doing this fairly soon. Hopefully not taking as long as a break as we did this time, but we'll just see how our schedules work out.
Definitely.
I'll keep everyone updated on Twitter. Go ahead. All the stuff that I plugged in the beginning: Twitter, Discord, Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, everything. Blah blah blah. DJ, how do you want to close this out? How you doing it?
Stay away from the boogeyman by watching over-leveled games. Goodbye.
Great. That was awesome.